I decided after I graduated from my master's in science education from the University of Pennsylvania that I started in 2018, immediately after I graduated college, right? I graduated in 2020 from my master's in May. By June, I was prepping to go to law school. Started law school in August of 2020. Still was.
Yo, what did Remick say? Y'all seen the movie Sinners? What did Remick say to them when he was standing outside of the juke joint? He said, it don't matter how much money or guns you have, they gonna take it from you when they want. When he said that, I felt that shit, bro. What do you have that can't be taken from you? What do you have of value that can't be taken from you?
Damn. Set your alarm, aren't you hungry?
You know to take big. Welcome to or welcome back to Raunchy Girl Talk. Get ready with me where we do raunchy girl talk. Let's talk about how to handle big like a pro. I'm kidding, I'm not a pro. More like intermediate. First things first, you need to mentally prepare yourself. No, I'm kidding.
So you got on the internet and let everybody know that you take big D. Alright.
Gotta be sure that both we and he are slippery like a slip and slide. You can and probably will get micro tears, especially if the slipperiness is not up to satisfaction.
Like, think about that, bro. She talking about a nigga tearing her up from the inside, like literally. And somebody's supposed to come along and marry that? Bro, you talking about a dude literally rearranging your guts. He tearing that shit up. Literally, right? And somebody's supposed to come and take you serious, bro. Some shit you just leave to yourself, man. It ain't about judging or none of that. You gotta think, bro. You really gotta think before you just get on the internet and just start saying shit, man.
You're gonna get a bunch of little tiny tears and you're not gonna feel them until you go to tinkle, and then it's gonna burn. Your kuku will most likely be sore.
She talking about burning.
You need to accept the fact right now that your cervix is probably going to get bruised. You just have to open wide. Like, genuinely, sometimes you have to use your hands and like open it down there. So he can go in. You definitely have to have the mindset of wanting to be devoured. There's nothing to be scared about because I promise you it will fit unless you just have a very short, which there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes that's just people's anatomy. Because he's bigger, definitely start off going slow. Don't go in trying to go fast paced like a jackrabbit. There's really nothing to be scared of. Genuinely, it's basically all in your head. Do not try and force it and try. That will never end well. Instead of being scared, be excited for the new experience you're about to enjoy. Your life will be changed forever. Once you go big, there's no going back. A big shaboing boing is gonna do it for me every single time. Bye, raunchies.
Yeah. I mean, that really wasn't raunchy, though. There was more of, maybe she thinks that was shocking to hear because she comes off as like, before she put all the makeup and shit on, she came off as like a cute girl that you wouldn't expect to hear say some shit like that. She looked like the lady off the Progressive commercials. You know, the car insurance? What's her name? That's what she remind me of.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming this is for men. I'm assuming she might have only scams. I don't know, okay? But this is a new type of content on TikTok. Can you imagine? Anyway, now, this is an interesting video because this lady's trying to flex on someone in her comment section, and it's not the flex I think she thinks it is. Take a look.
Let's break the numbers down. So let me let you know that you are not my peer. Let's break it down. You're 23, you graduated with your bachelor's at 22. I graduated my bachelor's at 20 from the Spelman College. Check the books. That's number one. I graduated high school with a 3.7 GPA from one of the best actually, high school in the city of Philadelphia, which is creative and performing arts. It's not Central, y'all. Don't judge me, but I think it's still the best, okay? Yeah, so that's two. I started my career in education as a high school teacher at 21, June 2018. I became a high school teacher. I taught biology for 4.5 years. And while I was teaching during that 4.5 years in 2020, I decided after I graduated from my master's in science education from the University of Pennsylvania that I started in 2018, immediately after I graduated college, right? I graduated in 2020 for my master's in May. By June, I was prepping to go to law school. Started law school in August of 2020. Still was a
Yo, what did Remick say? Y'all seen the movie Sinners? What did Remick say to them when he was standing outside of the juke joint? He said, it don't matter how much money or guns you have, they gonna take it from you when they want. And when he said that, I felt that shit, bro. He said, no matter how much money or guns you have, they gonna take it from you when they want. No matter how much. Now, this is a question that I'm gonna ask this girl whenever we do this interview, bro. I'm gonna ask her, what do you have that can't be taken from you? You know what I'm saying? What do you have that can't be taken from you? What do you have of value that can't be taken from you? That might be a better question. I don't know, man. Something to think about, though.
teacher. I did law school in a full-time job throughout my entire law school career. Yeah. And then I graduated December 2023 from law school. And if you want to backtrack, I started my nonprofit in 2020.
And look, what you think the girls in this comment section was saying? Do you think they was doing this shit right here? Or do you think they were saying their accomplishments too? Matter of fact, that might be a good thing to look up.
Let's break the numbers down. So let me look.
All right, what this comment say? Divorce lawyer Jess. I don't know what this is fully about, but I'm set and impressed. You really just made me reassess myself with my accolades. I achieved my doctorate with a 1-year-old, and I'm officially clinically licensed at 27. LLC in private practice at 24. Masters at 22. Never had below 3.7 for any degree or diploma. No help. Didn't give myself enough credit. Thank you for your confidence. It's contagious. What I tell you, bro? They ain't here talking about their own shit. You get on here and talk about your achievements, all the women gonna get in here and talk about their achievements. Let's see if we can find more examples, bro. You guys are both doing well. It's not a competition. Black Girl Magic, top tier. Matter of fact, I didn't even read this comment. The comment she's replying to. 23, graduated with my bachelor's at 22 from an HBCU, super educated, raised by a black woman, 6-figure earner. I still follow you. Keep going. Also, I'm not your peer, but I'm probably your peer if we break the, I don't know. So this is the comment she replied to start spitting all these accolades. I'm telling you, bro, women gonna start coming at other women. Well, they already started. But it's gonna become more prevalent. They gonna be chin checking each other real soon. Women just gonna be chin checking women all over the internet. What did it say? High school by 16, bachelor's by 20, master's at 22, second bachelor's at 24. None of the people in my proximity are my peers, so I felt this. Well, damn, read her down. Accolades on accolades on accolades. They are not seeing you. D. Spelman College. It's the love every moment of this. Oh, wow, I need to get my life together. It's the accent for me. I love Philly girls. Master's degree. All right, I guess we read enough comments. Let's see what he got to say.
I've earned in fundraise solo dolo over $2.5 million with my nonprofit while doing all of that. I just celebrated my 5th year anniversary for our nonprofit, which is Thrive Philly, in June. And this June, we took 17 girls to Turks and Caicos, all expenses paid. And years prior to that, actually the year before that, I paid for a girl's full tuition to go to college myself.
Yeah, I don't think this is the flex she thinks it is, right? This girl is blue hair feminism's final boss. And this girl is blue hair feminism final boss, okay? She's talking about all the degrees she got, all the philanthropy she did, but I don't see no
No, look, she was waiting to have a reason to talk about this though, cause the way she responded to this, unless I give more context, seemed like she just wanted to flex, bro. That's all that was. Well, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, bro. It's like you having a conversation with somebody that's always trying to one up you even when you talking about struggle. Even when you talking about how hard your childhood was, they still want to one up you. That's what this comes off as.
Ring on her finger, and I don't know if she's married or not, and it doesn't seem like she prioritized relationships. So let me let this lady know something. Unfortunately, none of that shit that you just said is going to matter if you want to have children and be a wife. None of it. In fact, it seems like you're thoroughly unprepared for it. Now, let me say this. All the women who decide to choose a career over a husband, okay? Your job can fire you at will, and they won't be there when you get sick or ill. I'm going to say it again. Your job can fire you at will, and they won't be there when you inevitably get sick or ill. Yeah. And the worst part about all this is she talks about dedicating years and years and years to a career that will fire her at the blink of an eye. Yeah. And if she
She talked about Turks and Caicos too.
sick, they'll turn their back on her and hire somebody else. Yeah. But oh no, a husband. Oh no. Can't do that. Oh, feminism said against that. Get a dog, right? Forget about children, get a dog. Guess what? You know what's funny thing about dogs compared to children? Which, by the way, a lot of people's dogs are just them trying to supplement the fact that they don't have children. When you raise a child, it grows up. When you take care of a dog, it never grows up. At least one day the kid is going to be out on their own. The dog, you're going to have to take care of it the rest of their lives. Yeah, horrible, horrible thing that women are doing. So again,
And then it dies. And then what you do, get another dog.
this is not the flex she thinks it is. Here's another woman. I guess we should call this section, these are not the flex y'all think it is. Now, this lady is an older woman who got married.
No, I asked the girl this shit one time. I asked her, I said, what is something that women think is a flex, but it's not actually a flex? What's two things that women would consider a flex, but it's not a flex?
Oh my gosh, that's so very general.
General?
Yeah.
It's too simple?
Women are just multifaceted and there's different types of us in a way.
But see, this is why I asked the question, so I can have
It's like very general, like whatever answers I put forward doesn't cover the whole population. But I did immediately think of something like
I forgot what she said.
In her older years, she's technically bald-headed. I got nothing against that, but she's technically bald-headed. She might have alopecia, so she has a gray wig on, which every time I see her, it might be a little further back, might be a little further forward.
You know what's crazy? At least in this frame, her face is pretty. She might actually be better bald-headed. She might actually look better bald-headed, actually, bro.
See some of the top of her bald head. You know, it all depends. But listen to what she says here. She thanks God for this.
Sometimes I gotta look back and say, thank God I didn't have it all when I was single. Thank God I didn't have postgraduate degrees to brag on. I didn't have a major career. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a luxury car. I didn't have a ton of designer bags, clothes, and shoes. I didn't have all of that when I was single. And I look back and I say, thank God. Because I know if I had them, I would be like most women today. And I would be presenting myself in a dating scenario based on my accomplishments, based on my resume, based on how much money I had, based on every single thing that came from outside, from the world, to say this is what makes me valuable. But because I didn't have those things, all I had was my God-given feminine nature. All I had to offer.
God given, which means it was given to you for free. It was already just given to you. It was given to you. Man.
Was the fact that I was made in the image and likeness of God, and therefore that gave me inherent value, that I was a woman, that I brought my fertility, my ability to broaden your lineage in life. I could nurture you, love you, pray for you, sustain you, guard our home against spiritual warfare, pray, cover you, nourish you, feed you, love you, guide you, support you. That's what I had. That's what I had. If I had really, truly accomplished everything that I wanted to when I was single, I would have really marketed myself like I see most women do. I'm the career baddie. I have it all. Look at me. And what I realized is those women who lead and date with their resume, they get men who are leeches. They get the men who need their resume.
But look, if we reverse the roles, do women like when men lead with money and accomplishments? Right? Women, women who actually care about the things that need to be cared about, they don't like when men lead with money and accomplishments. So why would women then turn around and think that men like when women lead with money and accomplishments? It just comes off as, what they call it, the ick, right? We don't like that shit. Y'all don't like that. Nobody likes that. So why is everybody doing it? You only attract a certain type of person. She just said it. Women that lead with their accomplishments attract leeches. It's the same way the other way around. Men that lead with money and accomplishments attract gold diggers. We see it on the internet all the time. Gold diggers, bro. Now, having money and accomplishments will probably attract all women, but leading with money and accomplishments will attract gold diggers.
And God knows I didn't want that. So
This is not the flex she thinks it is. Now, here's a woman, a failed career woman, thanking God she did not have it all, thanking God that she failed. Because if she did not fail, she wouldn't have marketed herself with the God-given feminine nature within. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? The last girl was a career baddie, let's just say that. And she had all the stuff, all the resume points, okay? And she's right, this lady's right. That girl's gonna find somebody who wants to use her success and be taken care of by her, which she's probably gonna hate. She's gonna, oh my God, we know women, they make the money, but they don't wanna spend it. They wanna make money so they have control, autonomy and stuff like that, right? They still want someone to make more than them and pay all the bills. Okay, women don't want to share when they become successful. Don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, she's thanking God that she didn't have that to market. All she could market herself was with her fertility or lack thereof. Because what I've heard about this woman is that she had her first child in her 40s. I think 43. I don't know if you guys can let me know in the comments. Something like that. 42, 43. She's married to a white guy. Nothing against that. That's fine. But in her mind, she's more desirable than a career baddie. And in my personal opinion, they're two different career paths or two different life paths, but they end up in the same place. Yeah. Older women who were tricked by feminism. See, she's the older woman that failed the career route. Now, the other lady, she's a young woman who's going to be an older woman who succeeded career route, but still makes them equally undesirable. Why? And she said this about her fertility. She didn't say this specifically, but I'm going to say this. Lady, you are on the last leg of your fertility. The most you could give your now husband is one child. And I think you have one child. Shout out to you guys, okay? Some people have that. But Do not confuse this. Do not confuse this as some advantage. The real advantage is having a child when you're younger. Let's tell the truth. Yeah. I'm not saying that I would not start a family with a woman in her 30s. I'm not saying that. But I would never lie and pretend that the same girl, if I did have a child with a woman in her 30s, I would have preferred to meet her 10 years prior when she was in her 20s. Because women have a 20-year window. A 20-year window to reproduce from the time they start having a menstrual cycle. About a 20-year window. Okay? And they wait till that window's almost completely closed to start a family and get married and have kids.
They baby got to get their head through that little crack in the window.
And they think that is a flex. That, oh my God, I'm so healthy. I had a child. You know, it's just proof that how great I am. And they stand in their grandiosity thinking to themselves, oh, you know, I secured the bag. I was able to give somebody a child naturally or maybe through IVF, whatever it is. But the point of the matter is that you were a risky choice for your husband. And maybe he's the goofy man, respectfully, that didn't have a better option than an older, bald-headed black woman who keeps getting online talking about her life in an embarrassing way that to me...
Yeah, because if she was successful in her earlier endeavors, she probably wouldn't be in this position. She probably would be bragging about her accolades as well.
Could only Aisha curry you, brother. So whoever her husband is, let's pray for him. Okay, let's pray for him because this is the same woman that if anything goes wrong in their relationship, she's going to come right to the internet and talking about, oh, and this and that, and I should have known, and blah, blah, and she's going to still think she has the opportunity to be with men because that's what she does. She puts on makeup and hair to appeal to men and to show the world she's still desirable.
Damn.
Anyway, like the video.
Look, man, let me see what y'all talking about in the comments, bro. Damn. Comment section warrior right here. I ain't finna read all that. Hold on. Sorry, ladies. Captain Saver Hawks ship has sailed. Yeah, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. But look, man. Y'all like the video. Like, like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all be safe. I'm out.
Bruh, you recording?